Oh, that for timing. You hit the live button, and then Drew's backpack starts beeping. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Draft day. One of my favorite days of the year. Hi, Drew. You want to come say hi to Dad Show? Come say hi, Dad Show. Come. Draft day, y'all. Love it. I love that they made the first round into a primetime event several years back. Whenever they did this, 10 years ago or so. Maybe longer than that. But whenever it's been, I love that they did this. I love that it's a primetime event. It takes very long, but I don't care. Going to be really cool. Who's coming to Pluckers tonight? Who's coming to Pluckers? Our 1045, the 16th annual Pluckers draft party. Different special. Every time a different team's on the clock. I will have Hudco hats. I will have swag from Sazerac Rye. T-shirts, koozies, cups, etc. Someone is going to win a Cole Coors Light, as Hester would say, refrigerator, which is shaped like the Rockies, which is actually pretty cool. So, going to be and somebody's winning a $500 Pluckers gift card tonight. So, y'all come out. All right, let's say some good morning, see what y'all got. Who do you think the Saints should take at 28? What do you think about the LSU guys? Fire away. Let me know your thoughts. If you're on YouTube, please hit the like button. Much appreciated. Let's say some good mornings here. Jason Truax, good morning. Ready for Pluckers. Truax, wear your Hudco hat. I know you have one, Truax, because you were at the first Hudco hat party. Now remember, this is Pluckers on Blue Bonnet. Pluckers on Blue Bonnet. Pluckers on Blue Bonnet. More space. Pluckers on Blue Bonnet. Jesse Brown, good morning, Matt. Hope you and family are well. Is Mike D coming on his normal time? So, Jesse, thank you. We are well. Mike D, I need to confirm. Please just check my social media. He will be on the show. It's just a matter of if he's on at 3 or at 4. And that all depends on his Saints Radio Network obligations. So, if he's on, my hope is he's on his regular time. And he hasn't told me otherwise. So I'm assuming that's the case, but that could change. Jamie Leday, good morning. Jesse Brown. Draft day, got my Saints gear at work. My M&D draft report ready to go. Who dat? I don't watch the draft anymore without my M&D draft report. And I'll tell you, the best reason is because a pick is made. You can sit there and listen to blobbity bloop, as people talk about whatever on TV, or you can go into the book, see the player that's picked, where he had him rated, what his grade was, and the full write-up on that player. It's just, and then it's handy because Mike has in the back, he's got all of his prospects rated for the draft, 1 to whatever. And then on the last page, he has a blank sheet with the first round. So you could track who was picked and all as it's going. So anyway, super handy. Devin Stiebe, good morning. Megan Hurst, whoops. I went a little far, sorry. Bart St. Germain, good morning. Tyler Coleman, Lord, please let the Saints not whiff like usual in the first round. Tyler, here's the thing. It's really not accurate to say let the Saints not whiff like usual in the first round. I mean, if Cesar Ruiz was a starter for you last year, and out of position, by the way, they didn't have a pick in the first round pick in the 2019 draft because they traded up in 2018 to take Marcus Davenport, which you could say is a whiff, although when he has been on the field, he's been the most productive edge rusher from that draft class. Just go look it up. His production has been there when he's been on the field. Granted, he's had trouble staying healthy, no doubt. 2017, you drafted Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk in the first round. That worked out okay. See what I mean? Like, they've done better than they historically had done. Now, if you go back to the Stephon Anthony and Brandon Cooks and 14 was Cooks. Well, shoot, then you go a little further back, and now you're talking about Cam Jordan, Mark Ingram, P-Rob. P-Rob was at 32, man. Last pick of round 1. Never became boundary corner, but you re-signed him. Anyway, Megan Hurst, good morning. Good morning, Kelly Gross, Jamie Leday. What are the chances the Saints could take Cox? So, Jamie, I think the Saints would have a chance to draft Jabril Cox in round 2. I do think Jabril Cox comes off the board in round 2. If he lasts to round 3, remember the Saints have 2 third-round picks now. Will the Saints take an LSU player? With that narrative the way it goes, probably not. But Jabril Cox is an interesting test case because, I mean, he's exactly what they need. They need an athletic outside linebacker, and he fits that. He fits that mold. Y'all do me a favor if you're on Facebook, please share the post. The tricky part here is the way that they have this done now on the Facebook studio. It doesn't let me share like to my personal account, which sucks. I can cross post it, but I can't. But it's just to pages, not to like my personal. So anyway, so y'all do me a favor, hit the share if you would. Also over there on YouTube, much appreciated. Let's give y'all some shouts out over here. Trivia Carter, good morning. Stephen Miller, good morning. Spurge, good morning. Happy draft day. Cliff Nelson, morning, Scone. Pluckers tonight. Let's go Cowboys team, Drew. You can keep that Cowboys nonsense. I wonder if, Cliff, did you see Kyle Pitts' dad gave an interview yesterday and said he thinks Jerry's gonna do something, meaning maybe trade up to try to get Kyle Pitts to Dallas. Wouldn't be surprised, man, if Jerry got a little active. Jerry's gonna take a receiver somewhere in there, but even though they desperately need defense, let's see what they do. Where are we? Cliff, will you have the other style Hudco hat? So, Cliff, I have one Hudco hat with the stitched logo on the front. I think I have one. If you want it, it's yours. But I think I have one. So I have some of these. I have the one with the full Hudco roofing and exteriors on it. But we're going to have a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot of good stuff. Y'all come out. Pluckers tonight for the draft. Spurge, need that don't be a square. Like and share card Jordy used. I had that laminated Spurge. The original Don't Be a Square, hit the like and share, was a manila folder that Jordy had that drawn on, and it was all wrinkled and stuff. I think Drew got a hold of it. It was sitting on my desk one day, and Drew got a hold of it and crumpled it up, so I went and had it laminated. But I don't know if Jordy has it or if it's in my whiskey and wine stuff. I need to find it. Stephen Miller, man of all the nights, won't be able to make the partay tonight. Sounds like a great night. It will be a fun night. Y'all come out if you can. Let's see. Dada Saints number 1. Morning, Matt in chat room. What's up, Dada Saints number 1? Who dat? Cliff, how many total? Hey, was that Lenny honking? It might have been. That was a Lenny honk. Trivia. Sorry, man. That was a Lenny honk. Sure enough was. Lenny just honked. How many total LSU Tigers get drafted through 7 rounds? So, Cliff, here we did this yesterday with Mike or with Russ. We'll do it today with Mike D. Chase, Marshall, Cox, Shelvin, Kerry Vincent, I'm going to say Racing McMath gets picked. I'm going to go 6. I'm going to say Racing McMath gets picked. I feel like there's somebody obvious I'm leaving off. Jacoby, 7. I think it's 6 or 7, depending on Racy. Devin, where are the Hudco bucket hats? Not in existence. I doubt Dallas does that. Surtain or Horn would be the pick. You're probably right, Cliff, and that would be the smart thing to do, but Jerry on draft day, you never know. Eric Wilderotter, if drafting a wide receiver makes you throw up on yourself, what position would make you throw up in your mouth a little? Offensive line. Basically anything on offense in round 1. I mean, the Saints, listen, I know the Saints offensively, like, with Jameis at quarterback, he's already throwing Michael Thomas, so you have a $100 million wide receiver. Alvin Kamara, until his past year due to some injuries, has caught at least 80 passes in every season he's been in the NFL. And then after that, you've got Traquan Smith, Deontay Harris, Marquez Callaway, Lil Jordan Humphrey. You've got guys that might be able to emerge into a number 2 role, but truthfully, you've already got Kamara, and we haven't even talked about Troutman. Like, you have pass catchers. I don't need to, like, draft a receiver somewhere, fine. Just not at 28. You need starters on defense. I need a starting nose tackle to replace Malcolm Brown. I need a starting defensive end to replace Trey Hendrickson, unless if you're confident Marcus Davenport or Carl Granderson's going to be that guy, which maybe they will be. I need a starting outside linebacker to replace Quan Alexander. I need a starting boundary corner to replace Janoris Jenkins. And you don't have any money. Like, you can't go spend in free agency, so you got to draft these players. And so you got to get a starter at 28. You've got to get a day 1 starter in round 1. Come on, trivia. That's just, come on. That we can't do that. Come on. Use a better word than that. You can do better than that. Glenn Laurie, morning, Matt. Hope the Saints get a cornerback. Newsom, can't wait to see Ryan C. and Mike D today. Hope Mike D gives his mock draft for the Saints today. We'll do that. Leo Williams, good morning. Brittany Delahousse, Saints trying to move to get J.C. Horn. I would be good with that. I think J.C. Horn could end up being the first cornerback off the board over Surtain. I think it's more likely they have an opportunity to draft Caleb Farley. I think Farley because you see this every year in the draft. Every year in the draft you see it. You see days before the draft, medical information come out, or this report about a player being suspended, or having a dilute sample at the combine, which there wasn't a combine this year, but you understand my point. It's like, and Farley's back injury is something that has just now started to come out. And it's probably J.C. Horn's agent throwing that out there to try to elevate his client's draft stock over Farley, and it's probably going to work. But I think the Saints will have an opportunity to draft J.C. Horn, or Caleb Farley, even if they got to move up for him. And I think that's probably the play if there's an opportunity to move up. Let's see. Kelly Presley, good morning. Tyler Coleman, let's see. Hope we fill the massive gaps we need. True. Defense needs help. Yes. I'm just happy LSU went to 100% capacity. Boom. 100. Y'all noticed that yesterday LSU made it official, so that means this weekend LSU Arkansas. LSU hosting the number 1 team in all the land, the Arkansas Razorbacks. That's weird to say, right? Because it just never happens. It'd be great to have 10,000 loud and strong there at the box. Get it. Ronnie Dugard, good morning. Tim Witten. Draft day. Neil Ripley, Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. That's the rusher out of Notre Dame. Really nice job spelling out the entire thing there, Neil. I'd be good with that. I would tell you I would prefer cornerback or linebacker because I think Marcus Davenport, Carl Granderson can do the job opposite Cam Jordan. I think. Hang on one second. Hey, y'all, by the way, exciting night last night. Drew lost a tooth. Exciting night. By the way, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. And, of course, Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. 52. Hey, come see. Hey, come here. I want to tell you something. Come here. Come. He going to play. So his front tooth had been loose. It was kind of hanging and dangling. I was like, guys, I'm going to grab it and pull it. Well, last night I was changing his shirt. So I was taking his shirt off, and he must have had his mouth open, and the shirt caught the tooth and ripped it right out. So, and then we went to Albertsons because he likes to go to stores, and he had a big bloody mouth because, of course, there's no chance you're going to be able to wipe Drew's mouth. So, like, we're at Albertsons, his mouth is bloody, he's wiping on his face, had his hands, wiping his leg. I'm like, oh my God, looks like kids look like a fist fight. But I did my best to clean it up. We didn't get blood on anything, don't worry. Anyway, so that was really exciting. So Drew, and what's weird is, so like normally, right, when kids start eating is when they start loosening their teeth. Well, Drew's tube fed, so he doesn't eat. He doesn't chew. So he's got a lot of his baby teeth, and his permanent teeth have come in behind his baby teeth, especially on the bottom row. So he looks kind of like a shark with multiple rows of teeth. But he started chewing this chew ring, which is like a sensory thing. So he just has in his mouth, he just chews and gnaws. It probably feels good on his gums. Anyway, so some of his teeth have started getting loose. He lost one up here, which we didn't find. He probably swallowed it or something. But then his front tooth was loose, so it came out last night. So Drew's got a big gap smile now. Hey, Dad, good morning. Andrew Brister. If the Saints draft a quarterback in the first round, what would you think? It would depend what they gave up and who they drafted. But considering you've got Jameis on a one-year deal and really no long-term option, I wouldn't hate it, but you're very clearly identifying playing for the future now. Justin Reyes, T-Bob Saturnary's going to Pluckers for a Hudco hat. I'll tell him it's not the Blue Bonnet location. I don't think... Oh, he said, okay, T-Bob said he's going to Pluckers for a Hudco hat. I'll tell him it's not the Blue Bonnet location. Justin, I'll get you a hat regardless. But no, I'd like for T-Bob to come out. But he and Hester are doing a companion show in studio. So I don't know how he's going to come out. But maybe he'll stop by Pluckers on his way to studio, perhaps. I don't know. But all are welcome. All are welcome. Tyler Coleman, Andrew, if they draft a quarterback in the first round, I'm smashing my TV. I don't say that because, listen, here's the thing, right? I'll put it to you this way. Back in 2017, they were going to take Patrick Mahomes at 11. And at that time, they were still very much in trying to win now mode. Now with the benefit of hindsight, Do you wish they'd gotten Patrick Mahomes? So you're bullish on that guy. If you think you got your guy and you want to take him, take him. Hi, there's Toothless. What's up, Drew? Hey, can I ask you a question? Hey, listen. Y'all watch his teeth. Watch. Hey, Drew. Bring it, eat. You see the gap? Bring it, eat. Hey, do not use the hashtag like MLB and SEC. I just try to get on that radar, bro. Bring it, eat. I love you. I love you. Oh, y'all see the gap? Y'all see his gap? Are you my little boy? Always and forever? Let's see. Cliff Nelson, workday is starting, got to run. See y'all tonight at Pluggers. All right, Cliff, see you there, man. Devin, 2 back surgeries for Farley, no bueno. Devin, it's all about if he can pass the medical. If he passes the medical, I'm cool with it. I mean, you got to pass him, you know. You would have said the same thing about Drew Brees' shoulder, right? No questions about Marshawn Lattimore with his hamstring injuries. I'm with you on the back stuff, but you pass him on the medical, let's roll. Andrew Repass, good morning from Pasadena. We take 2 from Arkansas this weekend with Helmers going in game 3. No. The Saints number 1. I wonder if the Saints actually take Farley, or is it a smoke screen for a linebacker, or Newsome instead? Your thoughts? So I don't think that there's any team, unless if you're picking number 1, like if you're Jacksonville and you're taking Trevor Lawrence, I don't think there's any team that would ever just give away their strategy. It's like poker. I mean, once, or any negotiation really. The more information you divulge, the more power in negotiation you give the other side. So I think smoke screens are absolutely real. I know agents leak info about other players to benefit their client, etc. You just have to ask yourself, what benefit would it be for the Saints to disclose that info? So where did it come from? Why would they put it out? I don't know. Probably Caleb Farley's agent to Charles Robinson at Yahoo to try to get more interest and buzz around his client. I don't think that came from the Saints, because why would the Saints disclose that? There's just no reason for them to ever disclose that. But he's a mega talent. He's a big, long cornerback, and if they clear him on his medical and you can get him, get him. But we always see it too. We always see guys that everyone just assumes are going to be first rounders, because we've read all these mock drafts for months and months and months now, and we assume these 32 guys are going to be the first picks taken in the draft, and there's always guys that fall out around 1, man. And sometimes guys that jump in. Look at Clyde last year. Not many people had Clyde Edwards-Helaire mocked in round 1, and Chiefs took him at 32. You know, happens. But I will still maintain that my feeling on this draft in particular is, because you have such a glut of elite offensive players that are going to go at the top, you're going to have great defensive players that drop in this draft in round 1. Like, there may be a guy who could be the Saints could have him as the 4th best player in this draft. And maybe it's one of the corners or whatever. Or maybe they have a guy as the 12th best player in the draft and he's sitting there at 22. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have the 5 quarterbacks. You're going to have Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts and Sewell and the big tackle from Northwestern. I mean, that's 10 right there. I mean, you're going to see really good players drop. So it's probably one of the situations where the Saints are going to be in a situation sitting there at 28, where when you get to pick, say, 15, there may be a guy that the Saints have as the fifth best player in the draft who's sitting there at 15. They go, it's worth it to move up to get him. We can get who we think is the fifth best player in this draft at 15. I'm just throwing out a number, but you know what I mean. Like if Sertan or Horn are sitting there in the teens, I'm cool with it. Go get them. Let's see. Scott McClendon, do you think Jamar will go to the Bengals? After looking at Joe's knee, they better draft an offensive lineman. It's so funny, Scott. It seems like, just from all the chatter, that the Bengals are leaning toward selecting Jamar. But it's like everyone here wants them to take the offensive lineman to protect Burrow. It's like talking about your own son. It's kind of what it's like, right? I mean, keep him upright. He's got guys he can throw the ball to. And he can't throw the ball if he's on his back. Darren Bone, is it me, or does Arkansas look vulnerable on the mound on Friday? Box scores don't impress me on their Friday games. Darren, we'll do a full preview of that series tomorrow. But Arkansas offensively is mightily impressive. And look at what happened a couple weeks ago against South Carolina, man. If Marceau can pitch like that, he's going to give you a chance in every game. And I would also say, just the reason I'm kind of hesitating is oh Lord, Drew. So LSU, Marceau did limit South Carolina, who's one of the best offenses in the league. But were they really, or was it a product of who they played? And then I look at Ole Miss last weekend. He pitched very well against Ole Miss also, which was one of the second best offense in the league. But they've also been without Tim Elko. Mike Elko is the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. Elko, who is leading the conference in homers, is a senior, their captain, their best hitter, and he's been out of the lineup, so that kind of limited them as well. Anyway, we'll delve deep into it tomorrow. Oh, gosh. I'm way behind on comments here. Sorry. Dylan Landry, good morning. Ooh, Tyler says his little girl has 4 front teeth missing. About to chew her food 4 like a bird. Tom Brouillard, sweep this weekend, calling it Go Tigers, delusional sport. LSU is not sweeping Arkansas. And if you think that, you are delusional. Just find a way to get one game, please. Mark, tonight in Chalmette, 6 p.m. Crawfish Fest, Six Guns Solution playing main stage. Good deal. Or everyone in Baton Rouge can come to Pluckers on Bluebonnet for our draft party. Let's see. Mark, you are really pushing that Nick Mullins thing. I get it, you're a Southern Miss guy, but okay, fine. If they want to bring in Nick Mullins to sit on the bench as a backup to Jameis, cool. But they've got Trevor Siemian right now, so that sort of very average journeyman roster spot holding quarterback spot is taken right now. So if they want to dump Siemian for Mullins, okay, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Let's see, Lance going 3rd overall to the 49ers. Mike Detillier has been predicting that for months. Brister, I think Mac Jones goes 3. That would be the stupidest thing. I cannot imagine how Mac Jones went from stat compiler at Alabama with a great offense around him to the third pick in the draft. I just don't think that happens. I think I would agree with Mark that I think Lance goes 3. I don't think the Falcons take a quarterback. And I think New England is the team that likely trades up to take one of the quarterbacks, if it's Fields or Mac Jones. Justin Fields looks like Arizona's quarterback currently, and he went first. You're talking about Kyler Murray, but Kyler Murray's like 5'10". Justin Fields is like a big, strong athlete, and he's mobile. He's got a really good arm, too. They're actually not the same kind of player, and physically not the same either. I mean, they are both light-skinned black guys, if that's what you mean. But it's got like Justin Fields is like 6'3". Hang on. Justin Fields is 6'3", 227. Kyler Murray is 5'10". He's 5 inches taller than Kyler Murray. It's nothing like Kyler Murray. Anyway, not to laugh, Andrew, but like again, I mean, listen, man, I get it. People make the comparison because like listen. I know some people are. I don't know if people are offended or not offended by it, but that's true. Like people try to make comparisons based on like, especially with quarterbacks, if it's a black quarterback or not. I mean, people do that. I'm not saying you were meant anything offensive in any way by it, but those two are really not similar. But I do think I would take Justin Fields over. I'll tell you what, I would take Justin Fields over Zach Wilson. I don't understand the Zach Wilson thing. Like Zach Wilson was okay at BYU. It's like he had this pro day where he threw the ball 60 yards across his body and people went, oh, he's Patrick Mahomes. And maybe he will be. Maybe he will be. But I don't get it. It's a weird one. DC Vlogs LSU. My favorite wide receiver ever at LSU is Terrence Marshall. Just so you know, it's Terrace Marshall. All good though. Terrace. Not Terrence, Terrace. But I think he's going to be I do think he's a first round pick. I do think he'd be a perfect fit in Baltimore. And I do think he's one of those guys that's going to have a great pro career, and people are going to go, where did that guy come from? And you go, oh, yeah, he was the third receiver behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. I mean, he was one of 3 first-round receivers on a team. It's just he got overshadowed by the star power of the other 2. But I agree with you. I think I think Terrace Marshall's going to have a great pro career. Let's see. Do you believe the Saints take those 2 third-round picks and pick next year, turn into 2 second-round picks? So I absolutely. Okay, I don't know that if that scenario exactly unfolds, like if you take your 2 threes and 1 extra move, I don't know that. But I will say this. I do not believe they make both third-round picks where they're currently slotted. I think they will absolutely take one of those picks, at least one of those picks, and move up. I absolutely believe that. And this is one of those drafts where everyone says the value is in rounds 2 and 3. So if you feel like you have a first-round grade on a guy and he's sitting there in round 2 and you have a chance to use your late second-round pick and a third-round pick to go up and get him, I'm good with it if you get a starting player. So, yes, I mean, I don't know if, like, you never know, like, what a team. So, to your point, do they take the 2 threes and a pick next year to move up? I don't know if that's the exact compensation, but I do think they will move up. I don't think they make both those third-round picks this year. Because they never do. Like, they went up last year and got Troutman. They went up last year and got Bond. Shoot, they traded back into the draft to get Tommy Stevens. It's just their philosophy. They're aggressive. They go get players. So, I'm with you. Okay, y'all, I think we're just about done. Locked on LSU coming up here in a little bit. If you're not subscribed yet to the Locked on LSU podcast, please do so. Lowell Cormier. What's up, Lowell? Good morning, man. Hope you're doing well. Don't want to see Chase go to the Falcons. He would be a tough matchup. Yeah. You know what? If they trade, you know what, Lowell, if the Falcons trade Julio, remember they got Calvin Ridley still, so they do have a legit number one option over there. But if they trade Julio, they may be looking for the next guy. But Falcons need defense. Maybe they'll take Kyle Pitts. I mean, but whatever. Let's see. Andrew, my point with Fields versus Murray is Murray went one and Fields is going later. I think maybe even better than Murray. I'll tell you this, Andrew. I think Fields had a better college career than Kyler Murray. And I understand Kyler Murray won the Heisman. Please don't misunderstand me. But, and both guys transferred. Fields started Georgia, then went to Ohio State. Murray started at A&M and then went to Oklahoma. And so I know that sounds stupid because he won the Heisman. I know that sounds stupid. But I feel like Fields played in a national championship game, played in the playoff both years. And maybe I'm like maybe it's part of me just looking at the Big 12 and the whole reputation of Big 12 defenses and stat compilers and Oklahoma has had stat compiling quarterbacks. And look, they've been good. Kyler Murray's been a good pro quarterback. He's been better than I thought he would be at 5'10". He's been better than I thought he would be in 2 years with Arizona. But Baker's another one. Baker's a guy who went to Oklahoma, won a Heisman, compiled a lot of stats, and was the first pick in the draft, went to Cleveland. And I love his moxie. I just didn't know that he'd be a great NFL quarterback, and he's turned out to be a really good NFL starter. So what do I know, man? What do I? Maybe I don't know nothing about scouting quarterbacks, which is why the draft was really fun too. Breezy Bro, what up? All right, y'all. I got to bounce. As always, shout out to Brock, Veterans Orthopedic Clinic. If you're on Facebook, Brock and Hudco tagged in the post. Please like those pages. Also, 15 watching, 19 likes. Thank you for that on YouTube. Appreciate that. We're growing the YouTube side of things. We appreciate it as always. Okay, y'all. Locked on LSU coming up. AFR at 3 o'clock. Mike Detillier, Ryan Clark. Tons of goodness today on AFR. And what else do I have to tell you? Pluckers. Draft party tonight at Pluckers. Bluebonnet. Pluckers on Bluebonnet. As soon as AFR ends, I'm jetting over to Pluckers. I'll probably be there around 6:30. Come at 6:30, come at 7, whatever you want. We will have tons of swag to give away. I will have Hudco hats, goodies from Sazerac Rye, 104.5 ESPN, different food and drink specials all throughout the draft. Every time a different team is on the clock. So lots of good stuff, man. Y'all come see us tonight at Pluckers if you can. Okay. Y'all have a great night or great day. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you tonight at Pluckers for the draft.